Before I introduce this year's outstanding Lohez scholars, I want to mention briefly some of the other honored guests who are here with us this evening. Who I happen to know, beginning with Dr. Christoph Tover. You have to stand up when you're Christoph, as you heard, is the provost, which I've learned since I came into academia. That means he's the real boss of the show. You want something, you have to go to the provost. The president is out, being a diplomat somewhere. Ms. Dawn Da Silva. Where is Dawn? Stand up, Dawn. The Assistant VP for Development at Stevens. Dr. Michael Zermulin. Michael. Associate Dean of School of Business at Stevens. Dr. Ann Murphy, also Associate Dean, School of Business at Stevens. Dr. Corey Way, Associate Dean, Columbia University. School of International and Public Affairs. Mr. Glenn Navarre, JD, Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs, Columbia School of General Studies. To present the scholarship award to Diego, please welcome Dean Corey Way of Columbia CPA.
Thank you very much. Bonsoir. Madam Counsel General, Denning, and honored guests, thank you very much for allowing me the honor to share a little bit about Diego with you this evening. And if my eyes don't fail me, I forgot my reading spectacles, I will try to get through this, but as usual, I'm going to be standing about like this in order to do it. Diego was born from French parents in San Francisco. His father was a diplomat, and Diego therefore spent time in Syria from ages 3 to 6, in Tunisia from ages 7 to 11, and in France, where he lived from ages 12 to 19. Diego has shared with me that he therefore had his first breath in the U.S., discovered how to walk in Syria, experienced his first memories in Tunisia, and learned how to think in France. But he claims to have become a, quote, mature thinker, those are his words, not mine, in the United States at Columbia University. Being enrolled in local schools in Syria and Tunisia endowed him with a thirst for Middle Eastern affairs, which he explored while a student at Sciences Po and Columbia. He spent 2 years, from 2013 to 2015, in France, following an intensive Arabic program while studying also Middle Eastern affairs, history and politics, and receiving a general education in social and governmental sciences. More recently at Columbia, Diego has participated in CEPA's 5-year program where students earn a BA and an MPA, or Masters of Public Administration, in just 5 years. I have the pleasure of managing that program at CEPA, and it's how I got to know Diego, who has been a wonderful supporter of and absolutely terrific ambassador for this highly competitive and prestigious course of study at Columbia. Diego has interned at French embassies in Cairo and Amman, and he has traveled to Jordan's and Lebanon's refugee camps. He spent the summer of 2014 in Jerusalem in the midst of ongoing conflict. He's currently interning with Ian Bremer at the Eurasia Group, and he plans to return to France to take the Foreign Service entrance exam. He hopes to build on his diverse and varied experiences to develop impactful ways to serve and represent his country in the Middle East. Diego, from your very proud family at Columbia University, congratulations and all best luck. gifts, and like at the airport, if I'm asked what's in it, I don't know. So only do this in a French consulate. So please take those, and then also you have a, I believe, certificate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is my first speech in front of such an audience, so be compassionate, be tolerant. But you know now that France has presidents under 40 years old, we need to learn faster. Dear Consul General, dear members of the Lohez Scholarship Committee, dear colleagues, dear friends, dear CIPA Columbia faculty and staff, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be awarded a Jérôme Scholarship Award for the year 2017. This award is very special to me, and I will cherish it lastly and make sure that I'm worthy of such an award. I first want to thank Denise Lohez, without whom none of this would have been possible. Her openness, her kindness, her humility, and inspiration. Thank you. I also want to thank the scholarship committee and the selection committee, because I know many of the other applicants. I know how difficult this task must have been. I also finally wanted to thank the Columbia and GS faculty who are present here, faculty and staff. It has been almost 2 years since I arrived in the US. As you might have guessed with the tiny remaining accent, I was born here but didn't spend much time here. So I arrived in August 2015 with Solomon, who came not in the same plane but at the same time. So it has been 2 years, but it does seem like only yesterday. And at Columbia, thanks to the generosity of the Lohez Scholarship Foundation, I've been able to experience intellectual, academic, personal, cultural challenges. And I really value the scholarship, the Lohez Scholarship, because it's this kind of intercultural exchange, of a collaboration between people with different backgrounds, with different cultural, intellectual, professional background, that really make my studies in the US very valuable. In 2 years, a lot has happened in France as well. In November 2015, I was forced to watch from afar as terror struck Paris. I couldn't take part, unfortunately, to any of the protests and commemorations which unfolded in Paris, but I was really struck by the reaction of not only my countrymen here in New York, but also of my American peers, my American friends, my American colleagues. I remember us chanting La Marseillaise in a cold November morning, week after the terror attack, with Mayor de Blasio, with Ambassador Delattre, and random New Yorker passersby joining in and singing the tune. And there was really an eventful moment for me. So by extending unexpected signs of compassion, of care, of attention, my American colleagues, my American peers really made a strong impression on me. They hoped that we would not get divided by such attacks. They hoped that we would come out stronger. They hoped that hope would trump hate. And 2 years after, they may have been right. Almost 2 years ago, an obscure civil servant, former banker, decided to take this crazy bet of running for office. In December 2016, he visited CIPA, presenting his platform of openness, tolerance, and openness to the rest of the world. Last week, he defeated the far right in the presidential elections to become the youngest French president the French Republic has ever seen. It's a crucial moment for France, for Europe, and for the French-American relationship. While the elections results were surely welcomed in Paris, I realized that they might have come as even greater and best news on this side of the ocean. rolling back the populist tide, focusing all of our energy towards mutually beneficial projects and opening us towards the other. There's so much to be done. And this project of countering despair by hope, of countering hate by joy, is a project I see in the Lohez Scholarship Foundation, which is why I'm very honored to be a recipient of the 2017 Jérôme Lohez Scholarship. Thank you.
Presenting to Vincent will be Ms. Paula Henin. I don't know whether to go English or French in this setting. A 2011 9/11 scholar. Paula is also a Fulbright scholar, a graduate of the dual degree program at University Paris 1 Panthéon-Sorbonne and Columbia Law School. She's currently an associate in international litigation and arbitration at Skadden. Please.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Madame, Monsieur Général, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, my name is Paula Henin. I'm an attorney here in New York. More importantly, I'm a former recipient of the Jérôme Lohez 9/11 Foundation Scholarship, and also a member of the 2010-2011 class of former scholars. It's truly an honor to stand here before you today, and I'm really humbled by Jennings' invitation to present today the award, scholarship award to Vincent Vial this evening. The Jérôme Lohez Foundation is very close to my heart, and it's an honor and pleasure to be able to associate with the values of the foundation and the inspiring personalities that are behind it, continue to support it. First and foremost, Denis Lohez is driving the project from the beginning, but all of its supporters, who many of them are here tonight. So from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of all the former scholarship recipients, I wish to thank you very much for supporting this worthy project. It's so inspiring to see that every class of scholars is getting more impressive every year and brings new promises for the next generation of leaders. And Vincent Vial is a stunning example of that. Vincent was born and raised in Lyon, France, and eventually moved to the Paris area when he got into the very prestigious École Polytechnique, or l'IX. Now, I suspect that many of you in the room have an understanding of the French educational system, but it's worth emphasizing how much of an achievement and the degree of commitment and strength that goes into getting into École Polytechnique. But of course, Vincent did not just stop there. He caught what a mentor of mine, Judge Bauer, likes to call the international bug. He spent a few months in Singapore and decided thereafter to apply to Columbia University in New York, where he's currently enrolled. And one of the main reasons why I think that Vincent is such a promising young leader is his willingness to address what I think is one of the defining problems and one of the most challenging issues of our times, which is energy sustainability and the future of energy in general. And to do so not just from the perspective of his and my home country, but from a broader, more global perspective, taking into account various standpoints and the diversity of the world. And while studying management, science, and engineering at Columbia University, he is without a doubt acquiring the invaluable set of skills that will allow him to tackle this complex challenge. In fact, Vincent has already started making a difference. At Columbia, he's a member of a team of students providing consulting services in the energy sector to several local companies, and he organized a competition for startups in the renewable energy industry. Thanks in part to Vincent, some of the startups will be able to in turn make a difference, and Vincent's ability to help creating and supporting future leaders in his field, I believe, at such an early stage in his career, is in my view one of the hallmarks of a great leader in the making. This is such important work. So I thank you, Vincent, for dedicating your smarts, your skills, and your energy to such a worthy project and complex issues. It's my utmost pleasure tonight to present you with the Lohez 9/11 Foundation Scholarship Award. Congratulations, and please do keep up the good work.
Thank you very much for granting me this award. It's, I'm not as experienced as the speakers that I've spoken before, and my achievements are not as impressive as the ones of the people that have come here before, so please do turn around. But I'll try to give you an idea of how important receiving this award is to me. First, of course, to start, I'd like to thank Lohez, the French consulate, for hosting this event here. It's an impressive place, and well, it's very great to be in such a place for such an event. I'd like to thank the jury for the selection for the award, and the donors to the Lohez Foundation. So I'm very honored to be granted your trust and to receive this award from the Lohez Foundation. And here is why. It's because we live in a world with a lot of opportunities, and I have the chance to have a lot of opportunities. This is absolutely great, and this can also be confusing and lead to anxiety at some points. What's the good choice? How can I find a path where I have a meaningful impact, where I can make a difference, and where I enjoy what I do? Does such a path even exist? Would I even be capable of recognizing it? So these are all the questions that I ask myself, that I ask myself sometimes, and maybe too often. Therefore, it is really comforting and encouraging when I see that my project is validated by a jury of very experienced people who have had great achievements in the past. So that's very good for, and that's really comforting. And the other thing is that I just came to New York because I wanted to meet people from different horizons, to think from a different perspective, from the American way of thinking, of doing things rather than thinking about them too much, like we sometimes do in France. We think too much and then we act. Well, American people are more straightforward in their process of action. I also wanted to dive deep into the innovation in the energy sector in the USA, and to get inspired by and to participate in the stimulation that emerged from the numerous exchanges in the New York City area. I have arrived 9 months ago only, but I can already say that I think that I made a good decision. The year that I've spent has been very inspiring to me. I live in Harlem, an area with a lot of cultural diversity. There is a living proof of how different communities can live together, and even more than live together, can create a very nice place to live. I've worked for 9 months in a consulting team with people from 5 different countries. I've been able to learn how people from different backgrounds are different when it comes to working, and it was a very enriching experience. I've, like Paula said, I've organized a startup contest for startups in the energy field in the New York area, and that was only possible thanks to the very dynamic people that I met at Columbia University, and I'm grateful to them, and I hope that I was able to help those startups grow. And so during the summer I will be working at the Rocky Mountain Institute, which is which is an amazing institute working on the integration of renewable energies, and I'm very excited about that, and I hope that I will be able to discover a lot about how American people are tackling the energy issue So receiving this award is another proof for me that I made the right choice and another opportunity to grow. Indeed, beyond the additional confidence that I get from this award, I'm really glad to join a community of laureates and people that have inspiring experience, and I hope that in the future I will be an inspiring person to the future laureates, and I hope that I will be able to help the Jerome Lohez Foundation continue its wonderful endeavor in favoring the cultural exchanges, rejecting violence, and encouraging young people to do great things. Thank you.
Le soleil